Good morning, guys. We're talking storage wars this morning, girls versus boys, and we've reached a happy median where the boys are happy with their purchases, they're making money, their capital growth. The girls are happy with tidy home. Stay tuned. We're going to tell you how it's been done.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Billy, good
Lee.
morning. You are
How
on
are you?
site this morning. I'm great. Awesome. You're on site this morning, Billy, up at the much talked about storage/warehouses.
Yeah,
Tell me.
I'm I'm sandwiched right in the middle of Kennard's self-storage on that side. We've got Storage King on that side, and these are both like mega facilities where they've got about 600 units, little storage units for rent. And then sandwiched in the middle is our newest development, which has just been ready to hand over next week.
Where are you? Whereabouts?
It's number 7 Rodborough Road, and to put it on the map
In
for you, French's
in
Forest
French's Forest.
on the
Just
corner of
for all of our
French's.
international guests,
Yeah,
up on the northern beaches.
Northern Beaches, very local. You're like 15 minutes to Manly, you're 10 minutes to DY, you're 20 minutes to Chatswood. So it's like really the centre of the Northern Beaches. And they've also just put Australia's biggest Bunnings in, just up the road.
That's nuts, right? And so that's where my ears pricked up. I remember when we started with this development with the developers, and Mark's like, "Oh, we've got all these storage units and warehouses coming on," and I was like, "Ah." Because let's be real, no girl wakes up in the morning and says, "I'm just looking online at storage units," said no girl ever.
Yeah.
But when we went up there as a team, I remember walking around and I was like, so how long are we going to be looking around these storage units and warehouses for, Mark? And then I walked inside and I was like, ah,
Yeah.
wow, these are nice. These are very nice. And I couldn't work out what was so nice about them, but they've done such a good job with these storage units
So good.
and these warehouses, haven't they? And Billy, let me ask you, so who's actually been buying these?
It's been everyone from owner occupiers that intend to use it as a space for their business. They might be a growing business. They need, just space to put stock or inventory. We've had landscapers putting trailers in there for get tradies putting tools in there. I guess whatever's considered a high value piece of equipment or thing that needs storage. But the big difference here is their commercial access, and they've got about 5.5 meter clearances into the storage unit. So that means you can then get trucks and forklifts and things like that. Just things you wouldn't be able to normally do at home.
Yeah. Yeah. And they've done a great job. Like they've put right through there, they've put some nice creature comforts as well. Like I think you
Yeah.
think storage units and you think these rickety cages where you just store all these boxes that you're never going to use ever again. But
Yeah.
they've done such a beautiful job. Like they've done really nice automated garage doors for everybody. It's
I can
super
show
neat
you.
and tidy in there. Yeah.
I
Take
won't
us
go all the
in.
way
Take us in.
down, but I'm going to show you
Okay.
some. I'm going to show you some photos at the display suite. So what you're talking about there um, is available to look at in the display center, and then we can go down the driveway and show you the real deal. But yeah, like this is what you're referencing. This photo here. So
Yes.
that is the storage unit.
That's
With
right. So you
its
got those. Sorry.
I was going to say, sorry, with its big high clearance and what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, you've got these really nice, easy to open and close garage doors. Mark took me on a tour down there. And I was like, okay, let's look at this through a girl's lens. And I was like, let me try and open and close this garage door. And I was like, oh, that was really, really easy. And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's Wi-Fi in here.
Yeah.
Really nice. They not at look from a girl's perspective. Girls are looking probably at different things to what boys are. Boys are like, how can I get my forklift in here? Girls are like, this is very neat and tidy. This looks pretty. And I think it's ticking a lot of boxes from the girls versus boys perspective. Lots of power in there. And not only have we got those storage units, but we've also got these warehouses which like the fact that I'm even getting excited about a warehouse is actually quite humorous, but they're cool. Have you got a photo there of the warehouses, Billy? Some of them have got these mezzanines, they've got bathrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, there's your typical warehouse. So the warehouses are designed quite cleverly because they've got, again, the super high clearance, which is that 5.5 meter door. They've actually got the mezzanines, which is the size of like a one-bedroom studio as an office workspace, and that's just there. And they come out over the top of the car spaces below. So the warehouses have got two car spaces for parking, plus loads of visitor parking throughout the building. But they've got these offices that are, and that, you know what's nice? They're really well naturally lit, so you would
Yeah, they are.
happily work in there. You know, they're not dark, and they're not the
Uh,
storage units. They're not damp. You know, there's no awkward smells. It's just really quite a nice, inviting space that if you're going to go and spend your time, you'd be quite happy to do so.
Now you're talking like a girl, Billy. This is what this is.
Yeah.
See,
Look.
this is music to a girl's ear. You know, when we're talking about lots of natural light, doesn't smell bad, you know, easy to park, all this sort of stuff. And then there's a cafe there. So I'm like, okay, this is great. And I said to Mark when he was showing me around initially, I'm like, why would they have a cafe here? He's like, because it's nice. You know, if people
Yeah.
are going to come and do some work from here, or, you know, it's nice that you've got a cafe and it's a whopper of a cafe.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and then Bunnings, the biggest Bunnings in Australia is across the road. And I don't know what it is about a Bunnings, but I honestly think it's one of the happiest places on earth. And it is a hardware store, but everything in there is great. I think it ticks boxes for mums, dads, girls, boys, kids. You know, you've got a
Yeah.
section there for everyone. And then obviously you've got the best sausages, barbecues that we tried to replicate it, but no one does it as well as what they do. Billy,
No,
tell
that's
me,
right.
what are they selling for? What have we got any left?
So we've got about a dozen left. We had a 200 storage units for sale 18 months ago, and now we've got about a dozen left. So the prices have increased through the build, and that's the beautiful part of buying early. They've been about a 20% uplift without, you know, any of the early investors paying a cent, because they settle next week. So 20% from about 200,000 to 242,000. That's the growth. You know, we've also got people putting mezzanines in to their storage unit, something like that. And
Wow.
and look, where I'm standing now, this is how it was. This is how it was, you know, 12 months ago. It was literally, you know, built from ground up. There's nothing here that was used. You know, there was a huge amount of concrete. I think, you know, this building here had more concrete poured into it than any other private job in the state for its calendar year. So,
Wow. That's
like,
crazy. So people that bought off the plan, and I'll be honest, guys, we are one of those people. We bought a warehouse off the plan, and we did absolutely nothing to it. And as in, you know, we just waited for the project to be complete, which it is now, and
yeah,
and made money out of it. And lots of people have been buying in their super as well, which is great because often if you've got your super just sitting in a fund, it's not really doing a huge amount. But
mm,
if you put it into a self-managed super fund, well, that's where you actually really start to see, you know, some good growth out of your super. So a lot of people have been doing that. We can certainly put you in touch with someone who can help you set up at your own self-managed super fund if that's of interest to you. But
yeah,
so the ones that are left, Billy, so there's only a handful. And I think when people hear there's only a handful left of any project, they think they're all the crap ones, but they're not. They actually hold back the
no,
good ones and they usually end up flying out the door. Now we can walk people through and they can
yeah.
see them, they can feel them. What's the storage units going for, the handful that we've got left?
So they're 22 square meters. They're 242,000 plus GST. I think what's going to happen now, the building will settle next week. Once tenants start moving in, you can work around the GST component. So I think anyone that's buying now, they're going to actually sort of receive a 10% benefit. I think prices will then go up another 10% after that. And then we've got a couple of warehouses left as well. And the warehouses start from about the 1.3 mark, 1.3 million. But yeah, they're
And
really, really well put together. I mean, there's another photo of sort of a warehouse with that sort of
that's
mezzanine.
crazy, isn't it? Honestly, and that is literally exactly how they look. Exactly how they look. And access into the actual driveway, Billy. Can you just walk back up to the front there? Come back up
Yep,
to the front of the driveway, just up towards where Bunnings is.
yep,
Because you're coming in off and it's not a really, really busy road either, which is
not at all.
great. No, it's not. So, it's easy to get to. The area, the location that this is in is extremely central on the northern beaches. It's a
Yep.
big, wide road. So if you're coming in with a truck, I mean, we've had,
Mm.
they've had semi-trailers and all sorts of things coming in there. And then to
Yeah.
pull into that driveway is super easy as well, isn't it? Just spin your camera around so we can have a look at the actual front of the development there. That's it there. Beautiful big driveway in. Nice
Yeah, 6
level
meters,
access.
6 meters wide. So yeah, it's perfect. And access is really important. And not just the convenient access, but also like the round the clock access. You're 24/7 here. You can get into your unit. You can't do that at, something you're renting. Um,
No, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? It really is. And then, of course, if you're a tradie and you've got that massive Bunnings over the road, like to me, it is absolutely a no brainer. There's only a handful left, guys. That is the honest to God truth. We
yep,
actually don't even need to promote them because they literally sell like hotcakes. We are exchanging more of these than any other sort of stock that we have on the market. That's the truth. Billy just
yep.
happened to be up there this morning, I think, doing a pre-settlement, and we're like,
Yeah, doing
let's
an appointment.
let the people know that
Yeah,
there's only a handful left, and once they're sold, that is it. People don't resell these either. There's hardly any resale because
yeah.
they're cheap to hold. Think about the ongoing costs of holding them. There's nothing.
And also, but these are big enough where people move in and then they don't want to move out. 22 square meters and a cubic volume of 5 meters height. There's a lot of space in there. So it's not like you're putting in a couple of boxes in a 3-month move in between moving houses. Like people move in and put their stuff in for a year or two. So that, perfect. Like if you're moving overseas, this is what people will buy. And I think the happy median here, Lisa, is that the girls are happy that the boys have made some money and vice versa. You know, if you're feeling passionate about it and it's making money, and it looks after itself, then everyone's a winner.
That's it, exactly. The girls are happy that all the junk is out of the house, Billy. The
Yeah.
last very important question that I've got for you is how many boxes of shoes do you reckon you can get into a storage unit?
Oh, thousands,
Okay, there's
thousands.
music to my ears. There you
Yeah.
go, girls. Right, there's the magic right there. You can't put a price on that. Billy, I love these. I genuinely do. As I said, I was shocked from a girl's perspective. My eyeballs were rolling into the back of my head the day we went up to actually have a look at them originally. I was like,
Yeah.
ah. And then I was like, oh, these are nice. And they are. Anyway, guys, handful left. Reach out to us if we can help you. We've got are there any warehouses left?
Yeah, there's a couple, but they will
Couple.
they will go really quickly. I
They're
mean,
going
people are
quick.
now starting to move in, and that's the other thing. Right now, the cafe is just about to come up and running. I don't think it's got its personality yet. The building doesn't have its vibe even because people haven't moved in. But just imagine when this place fills up, it's going to be such a cool community, and that's what we're
Absolutely.
really excited to be a part of.
And then Bunnings over the road. All right, Billy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. That is storage, and this is the real deal. This stuff, only a handful left. If you want more info, just feel free to reach out to any of us. Have a good day, Billy.
You too, guys. See you later. Off to
See
the
ya.
storage unit now. See ya. Bye.
Bye. Bye.